Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all dressed like $1,000,000, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Listen to Steve Harvey. Oh, listen to Steve Harvey. Why don't you join in? Yeah. Steve Harvey. Get on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Yeah, join in with me. If you're with me, help me say, on your radio, you gotta turn it on, yeah, turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. I know y'all can get it on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Turn them up, Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Steve Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on, do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You are listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Got a radio show. Well, okay, here we go. You know, what's important, what can be a huge part of your success is if you find a balance. If you find a balance in your life. That's been very important for me. And I've really never phrased it this way until now, but I was kind of thinking about it after my wife and I mean, we set up one night recently, man. You know, I often come on here, and this is kind of an inspirational moment of the show, and I try to remind people about that most important relationship between you and God. And that's the apex of it. That's the top of the crown. You got to form the relationship with God. If you don't, everything else struggles. It's hard to be a good husband without God. It's hard to be a good family man without God. It's hard to be successful without God, man. It's hard to get through this thing called life without God. So that's clear. But at the same time, you can't talk about God 24/7. You got to go to work. Come on, man. Let's just be real. I ain't your pastor and I ain't at your church. But let's just be real about it. You know, people tell you got to keep your mind stayed on him and all like that. That's a true statement. Got to keep your mind stayed in that area. I'm not here to tell you how to live, but you got to keep your mind stayed in that area of God, of doing the right thing, caring about people. That's what I took it as. Now, I could be wrong. I apologize if I'm not saying it the way you've been taught. I can only do me. Now, but after that, you got to go to work. You got to have some fun. You got to take care of your business. And that's the balance you have to find. So once you focus on shoring up your relationship with God, you gotta balance this now. Now you got to allocate some time. I don't care who you are, for your family. If you're gonna have a family, you got to allocate some time for them. See, we can't just marry these women or make these kids and then neglect them. And fellas, especially if I'm talking to men out here, and ladies, you can listen too, but listen, if you find yourself struggling in your life, man, and you can't seem to get it together, let's just go over a couple of things. The first two things, if you find yourself struggling, you can't seem to pull it together and reach your goals and get to where you want to go, let's just do a check. How is your relationship with God? And then next, how much time are you taking to allocate for your family? Now, your family don't always live in your house. But if you made them, they're yours. And the responsibility to them is never lessened because you don't stay there no more. Because you and the girl broke up. You and the woman don't speak. Hey, man, that don't ever release you from the obligation. Feel me when I'm telling you this now. Because I'm not telling you something I'm wondering about. I've had to live through them years. So 2 things you can start looking at. If you're not where you want to be and you ain't really solid, you can't figure out why you keep spinning your wheels. Have you just done a random inventory, man? Have you just checked on your relationship with God? Have you checked on the time you spending dedicated towards your family, your children that you created? If them 2 things is out of sync, man, that I can tell you right now, you can go on and get to explaining yourself away just like that. Hey, man, how come you ain't where you want to be? Well, because, man, I really ain't. Well, if you really ain't, then you really ain't. The third thing is you got to allocate the necessary time for your business. You got to handle your business. All of this, man, is the way it works. And the order is God first, family second. Then you got to handle all your business. But as men, this is what we do. If I don't handle my business, I can't take care of my family. True statement, but if your business is in front of your family, you out of order. Nah, that's all we talking about now, ain't it? See, that's all we really saying here now, fellas. I mean, come on, man. Let's have a real conversation about being better. If you done created these children, you got to handle your business. You may not like the girl no more. You and the woman might have broken up. Y'all might go your own way, but what that got to do with the child, though, man? You got to handle your business. They got to know who daddy is. That's your obligation, man, and God ain't letting you off the hook for that. Try it. Go ahead and try it and think you're going to get off the hook with that, because you're not, man. You just not. I'm sorry, man. Dog, Steve, why you coming like that? Because I did it like that. I did it, man. I was over here trying to reshape my life, get myself up on my feet. When I was homeless, man, and trying to come back, man, I thought I had to take care of me first and then so I can neglect it, caring about them kids. Man, that ain't how it worked, man. God kept his knee on my neck for a long time for that one right there till I finally learned the lesson. Hold up, man. Put these phone calls in. Go spend some time. Do something. And it started turning around for me. I can't be there all the time because I am out here on the grind and the hustle. But at the same time, man, some more phone calls, some more letters, some more ha-ha-he-he's, something. Then take care of your business, man. You got to work hard to be successful. Sometimes I don't put that in there. I just live it and I expect my sons to emulate that. But I got to talk to them all the time. How hard you got to work to be something. It's an all-out assault on it, man. If you got a target in mind, you got a goal, you got to wake up every day trying to get there. And you can't get tired of it because it never ends. You're going to always be this way. That's how life is designed and set up. You got to be a hard worker, man. If you're always looking for some time to chill and, man, I want to go do what I want to do, you ain't going to make it. In order to be successful, you have to do a series of things that you're uncomfortable doing. And work is the thing that most of us are uncomfortable doing. It's so much easier to chill. Man, I wish I could kick back with a cigar, man, all the time. But I can't, man. I can't. Because I got to work. Then the last piece of the balance piece is you got to take some time out to enjoy yourself. But if you ain't where you want to be, you ain't got a lot of time to enjoy yourself. Quit thinking, man, that this balance is even. It's a whole lot of God, a whole lot of family, a whole lot of business, and a little bit of chilling. The chilling can't be equal to the family, the business, or your God. If the chilling is equal to any of them, you ain't gonna make it. Quit chilling, man, and go to work like a man. Do what you're supposed to do. Work on your family, work on your relationship, work on your God, work on your business, and then when you chill, you might not chill as long, but you sure gonna chill bigger. You're gonna ball bigger, baby.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me have your undivided attention this morning. This is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We're about to kick it off. I've been doing dedications to the show a lot lately. I don't know why. I don't, there's no rhyme or reason for your mind sometimes. It just go places. I've decided today to dedicate this show to smart people. I'm talking about really, really smart people. That show and this show is for you. The voice you just heard. Cannot be trying to jump in this early. Shirley Strawberry, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, she laughing. This Carla for real.
Good morning, Steve. I'll take the dedication. Thank you.
Junior boy.
Morning, I can't get in on this one today, but put this fool right here though.
Nephew Tommy.
Hey, E equals MC square. What's happening?
Well, he's well rested sounding, isn't he now?
Yeah. That boy said thank you.
Steve barely got it out of his mouth. One more time, Steve. You're dedicating the show to home.
The show is dedicated to smart people.
Thank you.
Why is he talking?
I don't know. It's the wrong S. I don't know.
Wow. Steve asked
Smart.
Mr. Genius.
Smart people. SM. No. He didn't understand. Smart. SM.
Yeah.
Not
If I start with S2.
Yeah.
No, S2 because
STU.
remember he said M. What'd you say? M what squared? Too?
Oh.
E equals MC square.
MC squared.
Oh.
See right there.
Now he's Albert Einstein.
So stew is for two. That's when you stupid. Squared.
It equals TM squared, Thomas Miles squared.
You understand? Since we
Where
putting
were
our
you
names in
yesterday?
equations.
Enough for
Mr.
this.
Genius.
Enough for this. Where were you?
Y'all was here yesterday?
Yeah, it was Monday. Yeah, we were at work.
Pretty much every
I
one
thought
of
you
them.
supposed to,
Come on, here we go.
I thought we were supposed to fall back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
You talking about when we set our clocks back in an hour?
We know who
on
this.
Sunday?
We know who this show wasn't for.
What is he talking
If you
about?
fall
Not
back,
let us fall back. Yes, explain.
if you fall back, why would you come Monday? You're supposed to sit back and wait. Ain't you?
Hello. Come on, boy. Come on.
He's supposed to
Come
sit
on.
back.
I just don't understand. Why? I thought everybody was at home. Y'all didn't fall back?
No.
We fell into work, okay? That's what we
Prove
did.
us wrong. Come on, boy.
Why would y'all fall
The-
in
the-
here when you're supposed to fall back?
The floor is yours. Yes.
See, that's how I know I'm the smartest person on the show. Y'all don't fall back when it's fall back.
Okay, look.
Hey, man.
Okay. Okay.
S2.
Okay, gather yourself. All right, coming up at 32 after the hour, we're going to do one of your favorite segments, Steve. Ask Steve. Coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, we have a lot to get to today. Most importantly, it is election day around the country.
Let's go.
You guys
Yeah.
need to get out to vote, please. We'll talk about it more throughout the morning. But right now, it is time for Ask Steve. Steve, this is your favorite segment. We ask you questions and you give us answers. Of course, please keep your answers short so we can get more questions.
Keep your
Thank you.
questions short.
All right. All right. Today is election day, as I mentioned. Now, Steve, here's a question for you. Let's say you were offered the position of mayor of your beloved city, Cleveland. Would you take it?
Hell no.
Why not? I thought you
I'm not
wanted-
finna be the mayor of the Cavaliers and the Browns. I'm not finna do that.
It's sports.
Man, I'm not finna be the mayor of that. Until we get some championships rolling, I'm not gonna be the mayor of Cleveland.
Nobody come to visit.
I'm not gonna do it. I refuse. Until
your
we
job, the
attract
sports
one,
team.
until we attract anybody of star status to come play basketball, anything. And we get rid of this coach we got. I can't be mayor of Cleveland right now because I'm just not going to do good. Okay, next question.
All right, come on, Tommy.
What is your favorite day of the week?
I like, my favorite day of the week is the ones that I wake up on.
Every day.
Amen. Every day.
That becomes my absolute favorite day of the week. As soon as I wake up for one, that's my favorite day of the week. So it moves. Like right now, this morning is my favorite day of the week.
All right.
I wake up tomorrow, it'll be that one.
Mm-hmm. Today is the first day of the rest of your life type of deal. Okay. Come on, Carla.
All right. Okay, I got a fun question and a serious question. Give me the name of 3 objects or things that you love most and why. 3 objects or things that you love most and why.
I love my family. Because most of them do like I ask them to. Some of them don't. And then when they don't, I don't consider them family.
What?
I love traveling. Yeah, I turned it right off. I love traveling because I love the exposure to different regions, different foods, different cultures, different religions. I enjoy meeting people, the exchange of ideas and values. And third thing I love being fly, man. I love representing the kingdom of flyness. I think that I'm one of the top representatives of flyness, and I exude it. Fly till I die. I'm those are the things I enjoy most, man.
You look great and very fly in that Publishers Clearinghouse commercial. I love those colors, Steve. You look great
blue
in that.
cheese.
Yeah, speaking of
clean.
fly,
He's really clean.
yeah.
Swag. He's cool with it, too.
Come on, Junior.
Okay, what's the biggest personal change you've ever made?
My spirituality.
I can say amen.
Acknowledging and realizing that I was nothing without God. That was my biggest, seriously, man, that was my biggest accomplishment. When I figured out it wasn't about me, when I figured out that I couldn't do it by myself, when I stopped trying to figure out my future and do more asking for my future and following his lead, that was the greatest change in my life. It actually simplified things for me, actually. Yeah.
Beautiful answer. I love it. All right, so Steve, here we go. If someone wrote a biography about you, what do you think the title would be? What would the title be?
His flyness.
Didn't I just say I was fly?
Your Majesty, his flyness.
Yes,
His flyness.
His flyness.
All right.
Yeah, that would be the title of my book. Not His Highness, just His flyness.
I like it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, I got one.
Cute.
Unc, if you could trade lives for a day with anybody, who would it be?
Say,
and
okay.
why?
Wait. Start over. Say it again.
If you could trade lives for a day with anybody, who would it be and why?
The damn show wouldn't be you. So.
I don't know
That's
why
what he
not.
thought you was going to say.
Yes.
That's what he was hoping.
No. Person asked you that question, they kind of asking that question with ears. Let me take that from you, right? Man, I don't really have nobody life I want more than mine. Man, that's a hard question.
Really? Your nephew
Because you love your
huh?
life. Because you have you have a great life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the life that I've lived and earned, and plus, you know, when you start talking about you want to be somebody, it's like my son taught. We don't have enough time. I'm going to tell you something my son taught me as to why one of the reasons I wouldn't want to be anybody else. And so I can't answer that question because there is no one I would exchange positions or lives with. No one.
Tyler Perry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Tom. I know you thought I was going to say you.
Bro, this a cold 24 over here, boy. You love this.
I'm not the only one who wouldn't exchange lies with you.
We can take them both.
You could be the king of pranks, Steve. Coming up next, it is the king of pranks with Run That Prank Back right after this. That's who you could be, Steve.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour in entertainment news, Nicki Minaj clapped back at Wendy Williams and man, oh man, I saw the movie Harriet, you guys, over the weekend.
Really?
So good.
Okay.
Oh, so
good.
excellent. So excellent. Right now, it is time for the nephew to run that prank back. What you got for us, Neff?
My favorite sock.
Okay.
My favorite sock. Come on, Cat.
Hello, I'm trying to reach a Charles.
Yeah, this Charles.
Okay, are you the guy? Do you live in an apartment?
Who is this?
My name Benny, man. I live in. Let me say this to you, man. This like the third time this done happened, you know, and I done got fed up with it. So I'm finna we finna get this straight.
Hold up, man. Wait. Who are you again?
My name Benny, man. I live in. Listen. Do you use the washroom on the property?
Yeah, man. I use the washroom. What's up?
Okay, this is the third time this done happened. Last night was the third time. All right, now the first time I happened to be in the washroom with you, and I come up with a shirt missing. Now the second time was my T-shirt, my Chicago Bulls championship T-shirt. I saw your girl with it on. Now last night was the one that drew the line. My favorite socks was missing out the dryer when I come back to get my stuff. So I don't know what you doing, man, when you in this washroom. If you decide you just gonna go shopping in the dryer and get what you want out of it from other people's stuff, man. But this ain't cool.
Hold up, I'm a grown man. What are you talking about shopping? I work every day. I buy my own. Listen, you call me tripping about some clothes, and worse, you call me tripping about some damn socks.
You damn right. They my favorite socks. So what I got a problem is, what make you think you can start opening up dryers, getting people's stuff out, man?
Hold up. What make you think I'm opening up? Hold up. You got the wrong one. Where you getting my number from anyway?
I got your number from the leasing office.
The leasing?
Because I told them I needed to. Say what?
They done lost their mind giving you my number, calling me with some about some socks.
Hey, man, they my favorite socks. And look here, I want my socks back from you, man.
I'm going to say this one more time. You done lost your mind.
Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. Either I'm going to get them socks or I'm going to get that one of the two.
You got a plan. You say you live in 5 what?
I live in
you
That's
got a
where I
plan.
live.
Stay at I'll knock on your door in about 10 minutes if it's okay with you, partner.
Hey, man, it's whatever. All I know is you better bring them damn socks when you bring your around.
I'm going to bring that before
my favorite
socks.
You got my favorite socks.
And you crying like a little about some socks?
Man, the hell with you. You got my
man,
socks,
I'm going to
man.
enjoy whipping your part.
Hey, man, you better have shirt. You better have my Chicago Bull championship shirt, and you better have my damn socks. You can't be taking people's stuff out the washroom.
That's fine, partner. You got 3 whippers coming. Socks, shirt, and a T-shirt. That's what you want. You got a whipping coming for all of them.
But that's fine with me, dog. But all I do, I want my socks back, man.
You act like my little sister with a little crying. What
hey, man, don't worry about that. I better not catch you or your sister in my stuff. I'm going to tear it off. You hear me?
You ain't going to tear a thing off nobody. You done lost your mind. First of all, why don't you just head on down to the washroom so I can whoop your now?
I'll meet you in the washroom right now, but you better bring my damn socks with you. You hear me?
I'm bringing a whooping to you, punk.
I'm going to put you inside that damn dryer and turn it on since you stealing stuff out of it.
You done lost your mind. Let me tell you one thing. Hurry up, put your on, get down to the washroom now. I'm tired of my shoes.
I'm on the phone, fool. I'm already walking that way. So now what?
When you see me, you know me.
No, I already know you. Once you get busted in the head, you'll know what's going on.
I wish you ain't a man enough, but I'm going to...
I'll tell you what. How long is it going to take you to get your over there?
It's going to take me about 2 minutes, partner.
All right, then. And guess what else I'm bringing with me,
What you bringing now?
Is you listening to see what I'm bringing?
Man, what?
This is Nephew Tommy from
man, I
Steve.
don't give a damn who. Say what, man? Who is this?
Hey, Charles, this Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, man. Yo, girl, man. Chandria got me to prank you, man.
Man, y'all wrong. Damn, y'all wrong, man. I got one boot on. I'm on my way down the stairs. I'm going to beat somebody. Tommy. Come on, man. Tell me it ain't so. Man, I'm talking about, I know ain't no grown man on this phone crying over no socks.
Oh,
Man,
some
that's
socks,
crazy.
man. Some socks.
Man, some socks. Boy, you know y'all tripping.
Hey, man, I got one more question, baby. What is the baddest radio show in the land?
Man, that's easy. The Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Charles, I got you, man.
All right, bro.
You get it now? All right,
Yeah, we get it. You played too
All right,
much
then.
now.
Prank it out, prank it out, prank it out, prank it out. That's how you do it. You prank it out.
Walk it out.
Holiday Jam, baby. Holiday Comedy Jam is going down. WDAS presents Holiday Jam. Earthquake, J. Anthony Brown, Kia Jr. Spates, and the one and only, hosted by me, Nephew Tommy. It is at the Met, Philadelphia, December the 20th. That is Friday, December the 20th at the Met, Philadelphia. Tickets available at all Ticketmaster outlets and at the box office. It's the Holiday Comedy Jam. Come one, come all. Have a Christmas ball. We will be having fun at the Holiday Jam.
Don't do that when I'm on the show. I don't want you to do that for us.
What that? Come one, come on. Come one, come
Yeah,
on.
don't do that. You do the other.
Oh, the
Ladies and
British
gentlemen, coming
accent?
to the
Yeah, we don't
stage.
need that.
Try it, though.
Holiday
Let's see.
Jam.
Let's see how it sounds.
That's fun. That's fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, he hails from Houston, Texas. Oh my God, funny as all get out. Put your hands
I'm not
together.
coming
The one,
out.
the only. Ladies and gentlemen, Kid Jr. Spates.
I can't do that.
Oh dear.
I'm not coming out there.
Why don't you like that voice? Why don't you
No,
like
because that's not us. Wait, we ain't British.
Is that British? Is that
Yeah, we ain't
Do
British.
you think that matters to a stupid person, Junior?
It clearly don't, huh? It
Got
clearly
you.
don't.
Tommy has so many voices, so
Yes,
many
he
things
does.
in his head.
Yes.
That's the one thing
He's
about
an
him.
actor.
That's his blessing and his curse. It's the thing that's keeping him from being brilliant. It's too many damn people that get to
In his
be in
head.
charge.
Well, how's this one?
And
Can I bring
a
him
lot
out
of
like
them get
this?
to be in charge at the wrong time.
Can I bring him out like this?
Like what?
Coming to the stage,
Oh, yes!
Kid Jr. Spates.
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, he hails from Houston, Texas. That's my friend right now.
I love you, Morgan.
You right on. They just get to be in charge.
That was
Oh,
great.
man.
What about Training Day, Alonzo? Can you bring him out as Alonzo from Training Day?
Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Coming to the stage. You ain't ready. This boy, I'm putting papers on everybody in the audience. Get your hands together. Put them up. The one, the only, Kid Jr. Spates.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
take that.
nephew
I
Tom.
like that one.
I got one. I got one as we go out, nephew. Bring him out as your Uncle Steve.
Good.
I wish to hell y'all ignorant ass fool. Sit there and act like I ain't finna to bring this boy to the damn stage. I'm finna tell you right now, Philadelphia, get your ass on your feet. The one, the only, straight up out of Houston, Texas,
Yeah.
the one and only, Kill Jr. Spates.
Yeah.
That's the one I want right there.
Boy, hey, Tommy, that was good.
All right.
Now, if you was me, woo!
Coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment and national news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
In today's entertainment news, Nicki Minaj clapped back at Wendy Williams for talking about her husband, Kenneth Petty, and his criminal past. In case you didn't know, Nicki's husband was convicted of attempted rape of a 16-year-old when he was a teen and served 7 years after pleading guilty to manslaughter in 2006. The new Mrs. Nicki Minaj Petty then went for the jugular when she brought up Wendy's messy split from her husband, Kevin Hunter. When a woman isn't really being loved at home, the viciousness is a different type. So I really wanted to pray for you today because look at where you are now in life, she explained. Look at what age you are. You sat up there being vicious all this time and paid for that man's mistress all these years. You paid for her shopping sprees. You paid for her hotels. You probably even paid for her OBGYN bills.
Damn.
You paid to have that baby delivered, garden tool. How you doing, stupid? I was one of those black women supporting you when that came out. Whoa, that is the clapback of all clapbacks right there.
That was child.
Wow, so is it safe to say do not mess with Nicki Minaj?
Ooh.
Nicki Minaj Petty?
You
Don't
paid
do
for her
it.
overture? You pay for her Oprah?
Yeah. Wow.
I hope they squash that though.
Yeah,
'cause
that's what I'm saying.
Let's
Yeah.
just
I
But I
want them
know
to-
Wendy, what she does for a living. You know, when you throw those out there, you know, be ready for them to come back. And
Well, something gonna
Nicki
come
just
back
brought it
when you throw, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's
But that's
got to
what she
come
does
back.
for a living. I mean, Wendy, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Oof. That
This
was
is
tough
yeah.
right there.
I
That
hope
was
they
a clap
can.
back.
Yeah.
Squash
Can
that.
possibly, just meet and maybe, settle this.
You hope they can
because-
do what?
I
Ain't
just
nobody
do.
finna meet after this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a thing called forgiveness,
Shirley-
Steve. There is.
Shirley,
I
all
understand
that's
what Shirley's
good.
saying.
Oh, Shirley, the wonderful Christian act of kindness you offer me.
But you
Y'all
don't think
need
it's
to
going to
continue.
happen.
No, need to just let this go.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they'll let it go. And
The line in there
Stop
was,
it.
I really wanted to pray for you today. That's not the prayer.
Yeah, but then what came after that?
God,
She lit her
you know,
up,
that's
man.
Nicki. Nicki says that all the time.
Man.
You know, she'll go there.
Well, let me make this clear. Hey, Nicki, I love you, baby. Keep doing what you're doing. Ooh, I want her to fire off on me about nothing. Hey, need anything? What happens when these people run into each other? What happens then?
Just don't say nothing.
Yeah, like Steve said, let it go. On another note, if you guys have not seen the movie Harriet, please go see it. I know a lot of people are saying, they don't want to see it because it looks like just another slave movie and you're going to be mad and all of that. But it's really a movie about empowerment and about a woman who just was so strong in her convictions. She walked into her purpose. She didn't know what it was initially, but she just walked into her purpose. She listened to God. She freed these slaves. I mean, it's an outstanding movie.
I'm
Outstanding.
taking my daughter to go see this
How was
movie.
your sister
I
playing
can't
this
wait.
role?
Excellent.
Yeah,
And so was
awesome.
Vanessa Bell Calloway, who played her mother. And we love us some Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Yeah, we do.
And I mean, the movie is just great. It's really good. You gotta go check it out. Now, are there some
I
areas
will.
where you might get a little upset? Yeah, because it is about, she was a slave.
History.
So so you're gonna get a little mad, but that's not what the movie's about. You gotta go see this movie.
I'll go see it this weekend.
It's very empowering, very much so. Very much so. Yeah. All right, Steve, let's get to some headlines, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is Ann Tripp with the news. Well, today is Election Day across the nation. Some races being watched to see if they may indicate how next year's presidential election may go. For instance, there's a bitter race going on for governor today in Kentucky, where the Republican incumbent Matt Devin is being challenged by Democrat Attorney General Andy Beshear. In Mississippi, the Republican Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves is facing the State Attorney General Democrat Jim Hood. We'll see how those races turn out. In New Jersey, all 80 seats of the Garden State Assembly are up for grabs. One state Senate seat in the Garden State as well. There are also 3 House seats up for grabs in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. Looking at next year's presidential election, a North Carolina court has temporarily blocked the Tar Heel state from using its current congressional map in the 2020 election cycle, strongly suggesting that it will eventually rule that the district lines were illegally drawn in the first place to favor the election of more Republican candidates than Democrats. President Trump, meanwhile, hosted the World Series champion Nationals at the White House yesterday. Members of the ball club were honored on the White House South Lawn, along with several thousand fans. The president talked about the D.C. team's newfound fame, but being who he is, he also stirred in a little politics.
America fell in love with the Nats baseball. They just fell in love with Nats baseball. That's all they wanted to talk about. That and impeachment.
By the way, House investigators are criticizing 4 White House officials for refusing to testify on Monday in the impeachment inquiry. They were in order not to testify by the president. Meanwhile, a federal appeals court in New York, get this, has rejected President Trump's appeal intended to allow him to keep his tax records under wraps. That's not a go. The 3-judge panel ruled that both his corporate and personal tax returns must be turned over to a state grand jury. The judges rejected Trump's argument that he's supposedly immune from criminal prosecution while he's in the White House. A Colorado man arrested for allegedly plotting to blow up a synagogue in Colorado. Authorities say 27-year-old Richard Holzer spewed a lot of white supremacist and anti-Semitic hatred. He was planning, he says, to poison the water in the building and then bombed the building. The Huffington Post says an elementary school principal and teacher in Utah, both suspended but with pay, for letting a student march in last week's Halloween parade wearing a Nazi costume, complete with mustache, red armband, swastika, seen on video raising his arm and Heil Hitlering a few minority students at the school. Some parents alarmed. They called the school. One parent said that the school was told that they thought that he was imitating Charlie Chaplin. Finally, it's National Gunpowder Day.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Woo! Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Goodness gracious.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so today is Election Day. Please go vote in your local elections in your community. We cannot stress that enough. There are gubernatorial...
Today, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Gubernatorial races going on in Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana. In addition, there are local elections all over the country, and voters will vote locally on numerous citizen initiatives, municipal, mayoral races in Houston, San Francisco, and Philly, just to name a few. Plus, make sure you vote in your community for locally for city council and for school board members, various ballot and bond measures and referendums, plus state legislative elections going on in Virginia, Maryland, Mississippi, Louisiana, and New Jersey. And there will be a few special federal elections to replace members who have resigned. Bottom line, Steve, you got to tell them to get out and vote, please.
All of y'all that went down there and got in them Chick-fil-A and Popeyes line need to have y'all ass in line and vote today.
Just put a poll outside.
That's what y'all need to be doing today.
Yeah, just put a polling out there.
Polling.
Just the
voting poll.
He's saying put a booth at the chicken house, dog. That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
You thought stripper
not a stripper pole.
Stripper pole?
I'm sorry. I don't have elevated thinking at times. My apologies, Junior. All I saw was a pole outside the chicken place. I was going.
That will make you pull over, though. That will make you pull over.
A sandwich and a lap dance.
Something else.
But back to the importance of voting, Steve.
Please get out and vote. Yeah.
Well, I mean, really, Tommy said it best, to be honest with you.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to, at one point in time, we've got to figure this thing out. You're not happy with the government. Now, we can't vote on foreign policy. We can't vote when they say build a wall or not build a wall. We can't vote when they ban 7 Muslim countries from traveling. We have no say-so with trade embargo with China or anything else. We can't get on the phone call when you're discussing the Bidens with Ukraine. We can't do any of that. But what you can do is determine who's up there making those phone calls, making those trade decisions, and deciding who can travel in and out of this country. You have a say-so in that by who you put into office. So the importance of voting is never going to diminish. That's why our forefathers died for us to have the right to vote.
Amen.
None of our forefathers came up with that Constitution that don't include us many times. But we have the right to vote, and we should exercise that right at every opportunity to produce change. You can damn sure make sure they ain't up there again.
Come on.
That's right, Steve. Democracy cannot survive without public participation in the electoral process, okay? Please get out and vote, like Steve said. All right, the second round of chicken sandwich wars are back on, guys.
See? Here we go again. That's what I'm talking about right here.
We'll talk about it coming up at 34 after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, here we go again. Everyone's talking about it. This is the second round of the most famous chicken sandwich war in the history of wars, almost. Popeyes chicken sandwiches are back. Yes, they are. Meanwhile, Chick-fil-A sent an email to their loyalty members promoting National Sandwich Day, which was on this past Sunday. And that's the day they are closed, by the way, Chick-fil-A. However, Chick-fil-A did send a retraction to the email noting, well, this is awkward, adding an apology for any confusion and told their customers, see you soon. Meanwhile, Popeyes, I don't get it. Meanwhile, Popeyes brought back their chicken sandwich on Sunday. They had a little fun at Chick-fil-A's expense. Popeyes tweeted this message to their customers. This is not a drill. We're fully stocked. So if you guys remember back in August, Popeyes first unveiled their chicken sandwiches, and the reaction was, it was craziness. It was absolute pandemonium in this country. It caused Popeyes restaurants to blow through their entire inventory of chicken in a matter of days. Even Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson said that Popeyes chicken sandwich was the key to his success. Huh?
Wow.
Now, hold on, man. But hold up. This chicken wall sandwich. This
That's
chicken
stupid,
sandwich
man.
wall. Yeah. This don't make no sense. Where is your life where you got 2 hours to stand and wait on a chicken sandwich? What has happened to my life where I got 2 hours of my time to stand in line waiting to get a taste of a chicken sandwich? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I ain't got 2 hours for no chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
You know how much gas you burning in your car at a drive-thru. Then you got to wait in line. What you could be doing that's productive, and you waiting on a chicken sandwich. Boy, boy, I hope
What?
my life
Careful,
can't ever
though.
have that much time to throw away. Oh, I wants to cuss.
I know you
I
do.
can
That's
feel
why
it.
I said careful.
I wants to. I think my message would hit home with a little bit more punch.
Has anyone
Hold
on
up,
the
Shirley,
show
hold up,
had
Shirley.
one?
No.
I haven't had one.
Yes.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not getting in
I
no
have
line like that.
No, I'm just not. Only for Jesus will I stand in a line like that. Seriously.
I've had
For
one,
some
and I
chicken?
didn't stand in a line. It wasn't that long of a line.
Well, how was it? I mean, what is the
was a
deal?
chicken
Was it this
sandwich. It was
$1 million
okay.
chicken sandwich? Was
I
did
know.
it
It
taste
It was
like
a
that?
chicken sandwich. It was good, but the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is good too. My husband and I, we both had a chicken sandwich, and it was
My
before
chicken
all
sandwich
of
at the
this
house
hype.
good. I'm a
Yeah,
cold
thank
cook.
you. The chicken
Mine
sandwiches
too,
that my
yeah.
mom used to make us was, I mean, greatness. What is the deal with this chicken
Now, I ain't
sandwich?
had this in a long time, but I made a bologna sandwich one time.
Here we go.
Woo!
That's what I love for him.
It was
to
off
do
the
right
chain.
there.
Child.
Yes.
That was
Girl.
good too.
What?
Not girl.
I made a bologna sandwich one time.
Yes.
I think I was about, I was probably about 15.
What?
I was about 15 years old. Boy, my daddy had bought that big roll in with the red ribbon on it. I had cut it slightly thicker than usual because he wasn't home and couldn't stop me. I cut that thing, put that on 2 slices of white Wonder Bread. Extra mayo,
Yes.
about 12 pickle chips. Boy, cut it.
In half.
Sat down with a glass of red Kool-Aid.
Woo!
Girl,
You gotta have
Girl.
something red to drink. You got to.
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Now that means
that
something else. Carl.
sandwich was
That's the
healthy.
law.
Yeah.
The bologna
Steve, you did
wasn't
it right.
healthy. That white Wonder Bread wasn't healthy. That mayonnaise wasn't healthy. That's one of the best damn. I bet that'd go right up there
But
next to that chicken.
Is you about to
sandwich.
cry?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
tearing
tearing
up.
Tearing up, look like.
All right. All right, look, coming up next, the nephew here with today's prank phone call right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes. What are you laughing about, Carla? Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after. It's my strawberry letter for today. This is an ignorant show right here. Subject,
Yes,
my
it is.
sugar daddy isn't so sweet anymore.
Uh-oh.
Right now, though, the nephew in the building with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff?
Well, we've been talking about chicken, right? Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, the new chicken
yeah.
battle is back on.
Right.
We've been talking about that, right? Okay.
we
Well,
have.
then, you know, I think this is perfect for chicken at the repast. Chicken at the repast.
Like the way you tied that in. Okay.
Yeah, tie that thing in. Chicken at the repast. Cat dog, let's go, baby. Play that chicken.
Thank you for calling. May I take your order? Hey, I need to make an order. Hey, Jeff. Hey, fries up, man. Get them up for they burn. Man, hurry up. Hello? Hello? Hi, what up? Hello? Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you for calling. Can I help you? Hey, I'm trying to get an order, man. We just got through with a funeral. I'm trying to take some chicken over to the repast where the family at, man. All right, man. Well, how much you need? Okay, I know I'm going to need probably like 125 pieces of chicken, dog. How long does it take to cook? Man, we're not ready right now, man. It takes probably at least like 30, 45 minutes, bro. Kind of busy right now. Okay, I need 125 pieces, man. But listen, what kind of, I'm trying to make sure we get enough. You know how it is, man. Somebody paying, so we're trying to make sure we got enough food at the house, man. Yeah. So what kind of size you got, man? Because I want to try to get large family sizes on. Y'all got potato salad? Yeah, we got French fries, potato salad, greens, macaroni and cheese. You know the normal stuff. How much you need to be to that? Let me get like 2 of all of them. You know what I'm saying? 2 of each. That ought to be. Don't give me 4 of them greens though, but I know they're gonna want them greens. Y'all got some, yeah, family size on everything, man. 2 of each, but give me 4 greens. All right. Okay, now give me some rolls, man. At least 20 rolls to go with that. All right. Do you need anything else? Make sure I got a big thing of fries, man. You know, the kids like them fries. Let me get a big thing of fries. You order a lot of food, man. Yeah. I'm gonna come get it though. 30 minutes. So you said how long before I need to be there? Probably 35. You know, give us about 45 minutes before to be ready. All right. What's your name? My name is Robert. All right. You got a phone number I can reach you at? 404 2 Okay, I got you. Okay, so you got 125 pieces. It's gonna be mixed, right? Yeah, white and okay, there we go. Did you want it spicy or mild or mixed? Or how did you want that? You know what? Separated, man. Where the mild is in one boxes, and then you got the spicy in other boxes. So you know we'll know, so the kids won't get home too. All right. Okay. Hey, man, can you take his order for me? I'm on the phone. Take his order. All right. I got you. What's my total on that, man? So I can go. You know, because I ain't finna pay for all this by myself. I got everybody pitching in on this. Hold on. Let me get to the register. And, it's going to be 208.75. Yeah. Okay, 208.75. 30 minutes, I'm going to start coming that way. What's your name, dog? My name is Wayne. All right, Wayne, I'm going to ask for you, but I'll be there in about 40 minutes, man. All right. Yeah, man, I think to Robert. This is Robert. Hey, what's up, man? This is Wayne. It's chicken, man. I was just calling to let you know we finished a little bit early, and your last batch of chicken, we just dropped it. Okay, man, I meant to call you a few minutes ago, dog. Hey, listen, you cook all of it? Yeah, man, you wanted 125 pieces, mixed, spicy, and mild with 4 large sides of each thing, 5 large sides of fries. Yeah, I cooked all that for you. Got it ready. Okay, check this out, dog. I've been talking to everybody, man. You know what, man? I'm just going to need about 10 pieces, dog. I ain't going to really need the rest of that. Excuse me? I just need 10 pieces, dog. I talked to everybody, man. Everybody went and bought some. They want a hamburger, so I'm just going to need 10 pieces of that chicken. Bro, man, we already cooked all the chicken, man. I got 125 pieces, bro. If you don't come buy this, I'm in trouble, man. What you mean you only need 10 pieces? I just need 10 pieces, dog. You know, I don't need all that. I don't want to buy nothing I don't need. I just need 10 pieces. Man, nah, bro. You gonna come buy this chicken, man. This some we just sit here. It's only me and one other dude up here. We working out. And you gonna go get this chicken. Hey, dog, I'm not finna buy no chicken I don't want, man. I'm not finna do that, dog. I mean, you know, I'm doing this for the bereaving family, man. So, you know, like I say, yeah, I'm gonna take 10 pieces by there and drop that off, man. But I don't need that whole 125 or whatever. Robert, y'all better be on the way to come get this chicken, or it's gonna be some I cooked all the chicken, man. What am I supposed to do, man? My manager found out about I'm gonna get fired. Okay, dog, you ain't got nobody else that's gonna buy some chicken today? Now, who the hell is gonna come up here and buy 125 pieces of chicken? Yeah, man, call back somebody, he don't want 125, he only want a 10 piece. My manager gonna speak. Yeah, gonna be hello, I just need 10 pieces, man. Man, I cooked up all this chicken for you, organized it and everything. Okay, dog, well listen, man, won't you just sell it little by little today? Just sell it little by little. Man, there's no way in hell, man. We don't have the time for this. I'm not about to unpack all this chicken, man, and put it back up, bro. Y'all better come get this chicken or it's gonna be tell you that. Man, I don't give a man. I will call every funeral home around, find out who died, and I will come find your Robert. You gonna come up here and get this chicken. Hey, man, I'm not finna buy no chicken I don't want, man. I want 10 pieces. That's it. No, your want 125 pieces of chicken because that's what the hell you called to tell me that you want it. Hey, man, who you think you're talking to? I'm talking to you. I'm talking that's about to come up to and buy some chicken. 125 pieces of it. That's what I'm talking to. So bring your $208.75 and come buy the chicken. Just calm down, man.
Man, you need to come and get this chicken, man.
Man, you gonna fire his man. He comes up here and we all fire, bro. This gonna get this ticket right now. You gonna get this ticket. Hold on. First of all, this Robert, who you think you talking about whooping, dog? I'm talking to you. I told you, I'm talking to the that's gonna come up here and get this chicken. Either you gonna bring $208 or you gonna come up here and get 10 pieces of chicken whooping. It's up to you, but either way, coming up here. What you want to do? I'm finna send somebody else up there to get the chicken, man, okay? Who you gonna send up here? Tommy coming to get the chicken. Tommy who? What's his name? And gotta get all our information off the can from you. What's his name? Tommy, man. Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. What the hell you just say to me? Why ain't this his nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning? Man, this is some. Man, you got to have somebody get whooped, bro. What am I supposed to do with all this chicken, though? Wayne, your cousin, man. You got a cousin named Courtney? Oh, that dirty. Y'all cooked all that chicken, man? Yeah, we cooked up all that chicken, bro. Hey, Wayne, this is what I'm doing, man. On behalf of nephew Tommy, I'm finna give you my credit card. And we're going to donate chicken all day, man. You see some homeless people or whatever, you just pass out the chicken. We finna get it paid for right now, Wayne. Yeah, man, I can't trust y'all. Y'all got me paranoid. I'm about to run right now. Hey, Wayne, one more thing, man. What's the baddest, and I mean the baddest, radio show in the land? Man, the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Can you really do that? Can you order that much chicken and then cancel? Can it happen? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Chicken that
Wow.
It's not right to do it, but you can do it.
Yeah, why would you do it?
That's wrong.
That's what pranking is all about, Shirley. It's about putting people in some awkward situations and creating some drama around here. That's what we do.
Someone just died, nephew. It's a repast.
All right. And why is that? Do they think somebody finna pass back by there?
Not with you.
I'm
All
just
right.
saying. Why do they say...
Have another repast and don't have enough chicken. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who did I dedicate the show to this morning?
Smart people.
Smart people.
Me.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just check.
You just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Somebody.
Am I living up to it? I mean, hey,
boy, you so
what are we
far
talking about here?
You so far off from smart.
Well below the standard of smart, sir.
How y'all don't see the brilliance in me is what bothers me more than anything.
Now, I think the question you need to ask is how you the only one that see the brilliance in you.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, thank you, nephew. Coming up next, Strawberry Letter subject, my sugar daddy isn't so sweet anymore. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And listen, if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter. And we could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now.
All right, buckle up. Hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is. Strawberry Letter.
Subject, my sugar daddy isn't so sweet anymore. Dear Steve and Shirley, I've been dealing with an older man for a year. He's 66 years old and I'm 30 years old, so I guess you can call him my sugar daddy. I also have a boyfriend that is my age. We've been dating for 3 years and he knows about the older guy and he doesn't mind because I told him that he is my uncle. Older guy takes me to and from work every day because my boyfriend works an overnight shift. The older man gives me tons of money and pays my cell phone bill, and my boyfriend never has questioned it. I've never had any type of sexual relations with the older man, but he's been to my apartment a few times while my boyfriend was at work. He does not know I have a boyfriend at all. I always knew this situation was too good to be true, and I wasn't surprised when the older guy started dropping hints about having sex. Recently, he's been asking to come spend the night with me, or he wants us to go away together one weekend. He said he has been treating me like a queen, and it's time for me to start treating him like my king. I got so disgusted and wanted to give him all of his money back right then. I love my boyfriend, and the sex with him is great, so there is no way I am going to cheat with this old man. I've been putting him off with all kinds of excuses when he starts talking about coming over at night. I have stopped riding to work with him, but paying for rides to work is getting expensive. Do you think it's possible to have the best of both worlds, keeping my older man and my boyfriend? Do you think the older guy will stop being so generous if I tell him I don't want to have sex with him? I am new to all of this and I need some advice. Please help. Well, yeah, he is definitely your sugar daddy. Okay, definitely. And in his mind, he has been very, very nice to you. And he wants a return on his investment. You guys have been dealing with each other for 1 year. That's a long time. In other words, and I really hate to put it this way, but he wants you to pay up now. You got to sleep with him now. So unless you're ready to do that, and it doesn't sound like you are, I think it's best you leave this sugar daddy alone. You got to break up with him. You can't take any more of his money. You said you felt like giving him all of his money back. You might have to do that, okay? Leave this man alone. And you know what? Guess what? This is another thing I'm not buying. You're 30 years old. I know you said you're new to all this, but you've been doing this for a year now. I don't think you're that naive. You know what sugar daddies do. You haven't heard of a sugar daddy? You even called him a sugar daddy yourself. This is what they do, okay? They get young girls, they buy them things and stuff like that. And a lot of times, there are sexual favors involved. That's how it goes. Now, you've been dealing with him for a whole year. You told your boyfriend of 3 years that this was your uncle. So I don't believe you're that naive with all of this. The sex with your boyfriend is great. The thought of sex with this older man is making you disgusted. So you need to leave this man alone because he wants to sleep with you. He wants to be treated like he's your king because he treats you like you're his queen. So all this stuff is right in the letter. If you don't want to do any of this stuff, it's time for you to move on. Steve?
This letter is I don't like when people write letters and try to be slick. But then you write a letter like you writing a letter into somebody that's stupid. And we're not. And Shirley lightly touches it on it, but I'm going to just hammer you in the head with this. Because this is bull crap. This is the game. And both of y'all playing it. So don't write this letter all innocent like my sugar daddy isn't so sweet anymore. Now, you've been dealing with this older man for a year. What that mean? I've been dealing with this older man for a year. He's 66, you 30. So I guess you can call him my sugar daddy. You ain't got to guess nothing. You know what you doing. Stop. 33-year age difference. Like you don't know what that is. Get out of here. I also got a boyfriend that's my age. We've been dating for 3 years, and he knows about the older guy, and he don't mind because I told him that he's my uncle. Okay, so you're a liar too? That's what? And you act like you don't know what this game is? You've been dealing with this 66-year-old man, and you 30, and your boyfriend is cool with it because you told him your uncle. Why didn't you ever tell your boyfriend what he really was to you? Did you ever tell him you have a sugar daddy? The older guy takes me to work every day because my boyfriend works an overnight shift. Older man gives me tons of money and pays my cell phone bill, and my boyfriend never has questioned it. That's because you told him it was your uncle. That's why he ain't questioned it, because he trusts you. Man, I sure hope your boyfriend listening to this letter you done wrote in, because you're a trip. You know something, y'all? I'm finna call it like it is. When a woman is tricky, what is that? Now, when a dude tricky, if this was a dude doing this, women be upset everywhere. But it's women upset with you, too, because there's women out there trying to find a good man and can't get one. And now you got one, and you going to add the old dude to it, then going to play naive. I've never had any type of sexual relationship with an old man, but he's been to my apartment a few times while my boyfriend was at work. You done had another man in your house. while your boyfriend was at work. Oh, so now you a liar, you a gold digger, and you tricky. Oh. Okay.
Hold on, Steve.
Save
that thought.
When we come back.
Yeah. All right, we'll have part 2 of Steve's response coming up at 23 after the hour. Today's Strawberry Letter subject, my sugar daddy isn't so sweet anymore. We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on, let's recap today's Strawberry Letter subject, my sugar daddy isn't so sweet anymore.
Yeah, well, this little 30-year-old girl dating this 66-year-old dude. She done called him a sugar daddy. She got a boyfriend that's her age. They've been dating for 3 years. He know about the older guy, but he don't mind because she done lied to him, told him this his uncle. The older guy takes me to and from work every day because my boyfriend works an overnight shift. So now you using the older man. The older man gives me tons of money, pays my cell phone bill, and my boyfriend never has questioned it. The reason he ain't questioned it is because you lied tricky with your boyfriend, told him this was your uncle. So how would he raise questions? Your uncle giving you a ride to work. That ain't no big deal. I've never had any type of sexual relationships with the older man, but he's been to my apartment a few times while my boyfriend was at work. Okay, you tricky. He does not know that I have a boyfriend at all. Stop. Wait a minute. You trying to tell me that a 66-year-old man don't know that the 30-year-old girl got a boyfriend? Are you crazy? You think that a 66-year-old man who like what he like think he the only one that like it? Are you serious? You think this dude is a fool? No, the dude has been paying you this money and ain't been saying nothing because like Shirley said, he's been investing. Well, you know, he been planting seeds and now he wants some crops. Because he's smart, he patient, he old school, he know what he doing. I'ma just work it. See, I got news for you. You ain't the only one he got. He, just like you think you ain't never done this before, he done this before. He know the game. He done this before. He done helped somebody out before. He know how to do this here. But you think you tricking him. And he does not know that I have a boyfriend. Yeah, little girl, get out of here. I always knew this situation was too good to be true, and I wasn't surprised when the older guy, no, I know you wasn't surprised because you knew why he was giving you the money in the first place. I wasn't surprised when the older guy started dropping hints about having sex. Yeah, you knew that. That's why you wasn't surprised. You know this man ain't doing all this for you, complimenting you on how you look today. Have a nice day, baby. If you need anything, let me know. Give me that cell phone bill. You knew what he wanted in the first place. Now, recently he's been asking to come spend the night with me, or he wants us to go away together one weekend. He said he's been treating me like a queen, and it's time for me to start treating him like his king. Bam. Makes sense, don't it? Make perfect sense to everybody reading the letter. So I got disgusted and wanted to give him all his money back right then, but you didn't, did you? I got disgusted and wanted to give him all his money back right then, but you didn't, did you? Bet you ain't gave him a quarter back. Bet you ain't gave him that cell phone back. You ain't did none of that back. Why you disgusted? What? You know what was happening? I love my boyfriend and the sex with him is great. When you love people, you don't do stuff like this to them. So you need to redefine what love is, because you don't know. I love my boyfriend and the sex with him is great. So there's no way I'm going to cheat with this old man. Okay. So what's the letter for then? I've been putting him off with all kinds of excuses. No, see, the way you do is you end the relationship. But see, you've been putting him off with all kinds of excuses because you want the money to keep coming and the ride to keep coming, because you tricky. You a gold digger. You a hustler. You playing the game and now it's time to pay up. That's why you keep making all kinds of excuses. Why don't you just say, hey, look, this is not what I want, but you want the money. When he started talking about coming overnight, I have stopped riding to work with him, but paying for rides to work is getting expensive. What is that called? Uber? What is that?
Yeah.
Paying for rides to work is getting expensive. That's called Uber. They call car service, cabs, limos, whatever. Do you think it's possible to have the best of both worlds? So, see, here's a letter from a person who's tricky, and they want me and Shirley to provide a way for her to keep being tricky. Shirley done told you that this man want a return on his investment. Do you think the older guy will stop being so generous? See, you're after his generosity. He after your thing. If I tell him I don't want to have sex with him, I am new to all of this, and I need some advice. You the lying, this chick.
She is not new to it.
Wow. You new to what? Like Shirley said, you've been doing it over a year. You're pretty damn experienced at it. Yeah. If you ask us, you ain't new to this. You new to getting busted. It's what it is. You new to when it's pay up time. You new to that. You thought this game was gonna continue like this? Girl, get out of here. We ain't giving you no damn advice. Keep playing this game. You know what you gonna do? You gonna lose the old man and your boyfriend, because I hope your boyfriend is listening. The one that you told that this is your uncle. You've been lying to this boy this whole time.
That was slick right there.
You a trip. Man, get up out of here, little girl. Go somewhere. Ain't nobody playing these reindeer games with you. Go on somewhere.
All right, you heard it. Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook.
But one last thing, Shirley.
Okay,
but I tell you what, if you sleep with the 66-year-old dude, you might find yourself out something. Uh-oh.
Coming up, don't forget to check out the
Because it
Strawberry
ain't
Letter
new to him.
podcast on demand. Coming up at 46 after the hour. In a new Fox News poll, Joe Biden is the candidate to most likely beat Donald Trump. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, guys, today is Election Day. Make sure you get out and vote in your local elections in your community, okay? Please do that.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to vote
Get
today.
it done.
In other trending election news, yeah, it is, seriously. According to a new poll from Fox News, former VP Joe Biden is the Democratic candidate most likely to beat Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. Now, if Biden ends up as the Democratic nominee, 51% of registered voters say they'd vote for him, while 39% say they'd vote for Trump. With registered independents, Biden has a 33% to 23% win over Trump, but 20% say they would vote for an other that's neither Biden nor Trump, and another 16% were undecided. They need to make some decisions. In the poll, nearly every demographic had Trump behind except with white people. 46% of them said they would vote for him over Biden, while 44% said they'd pick Biden. So there you go. What do you think,
We got work
Steve?
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Numbers a little too close.
I mean, look, that's
Very
a
close,
telling,
Junior.
Survey. When you break it down racially,
It's
it
Fox
becomes
News,
very
too.
telling. And Fox is a conservative right-wing network. So they are working on behalf of
And they love
Donald Trump.
Yes.
But now, see, you got to be careful about these surveys because they put out that he's behind everywhere except when it comes to, now this is according to Fox, white people 46%. So what that's to do is that energizes his base. That's why they would say that. It makes people think that, oh my God, white people are voting for him. Well, what's wrong with us? So what they're trying to send a message is to the other white people, wait a minute, what are you doing? The rest of us are over here. We get it. Why don't you get it? Same thing that happens in jury rooms around the country. So you have to be very careful with these things, especially when it comes from Fox. Just be aware that you have to vote. It doesn't matter what the polls say.
How many people own a poll when they take a poll? How many people is it?
They never tell us.
It don't be much.
It depends.
Sometimes they tell us.
Well, let me ask y'all. Has anybody ever asked y'all a poll question?
I'm not.
No.
All right, listen, coming up at the top of the hour as we move ahead here, Pimpin is in the building. He's going to discuss the trending NFL news about the Browns, Steve, and the Ravens. That's coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we go. It is time for the one and only Pimpin in the building.
Uh-oh.
Come on now, what's up? What's
happening,
up?
Pimpin'?
What's up,
What's up,
everybody?
Pimpin'? What it do,
What's up,
baby?
Junior.
My man.
Yeah, what's up, man? The only dude on the show with a pimp voice like me. What's up with you, Junior? Hey, what's up, Tommy?
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
My man, everything good? I'm everything. Hey, what's up with you, Chocolate?
What's happening, Pimpin? What's going on?
Ain't nothing. Hey, what's up, Shirley? How you
Hey,
doing today,
Pimpin',
man?
how you doing?
Everybody good? Oh, yeah, I'm doing good
Lovely,
right here,
lovely.
man. It's all right. I'm over here with Steve in Botswana.
Okay.
You know what
You
I'm
pimping
saying?
in
You like
Botswana?
this?
Yeah, what is that you
Yeah,
wearing,
we're gonna
Pimpin'? What's that?
Look at it. You see it?
Yeah.
You see it? You like it?
Yeah.
You know what this is?
Come on.
What?
Ow!
Coat. You know, they say they got like a, you know, he even got a trip with me because they say they got way too many in Botswana. So I figured, hey, let me help you out.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
that's nice. So what's happening?
Hey, Pimpin', I'm glad you here, man. What you think about
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, man, and them Baltimore Ravens? They beat Tom Brady and them Patriots,
hold
man.
on. Hey, I don't know if y'all remember,
Yeah.
but that was Pimpin's upset pick of the week. I predicted
it
that
sure
Baltimore.
was.
You know what I'm saying? I called that. I
did
saw
with
that.
Now,
a
you
mile
picked
long.
that one. You picked that
I'm
one.
gonna tell you why I picked it. You know, because the Cleveland Browns the week before they was running all over, and then they just throwing the ball to the wrong, fumbling and all that, and then penalties.
They gonna get it together, man. They gonna get it.
Because they making me look good. They get it together when? Not this year. Not this year.
No.
Damn, we
Yeah,
couldn't
Lamar
even beat
Jackson.
Denver. I'm Botswana. I heard about that late, man. That don't make no damn sense. The coach, something wrong up there. I think it's the coach.
Oh.
They got the talent, man. The play calling be crazy. I be going, who called that play? I could have called that play from Africa better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Pimpin', man. I don't know
What's
if you
up,
heard
Junior?
about this, man. Speaking of Cleveland, man, I don't know if you heard about this, but defensive back Jermaine Whitehead went off on a Browns fan, man, and like threatened to kill him, and then they let him go. They cut him from the team, man. I mean, what's going on?
Hell yeah, you can't threaten to kill nobody.
Yeah.
You ain't clean. You can't kill a fan. We ain't got that many.
But you're that mad?
What the hell you gonna kill a fan for? Well, they ought to be booing. Your ass ain't tackling nobody. I didn't even know that, man. That's crazy. He threatened to kill a fan.
Yeah, man, in a tweet. Yeah, when I
Ooh,
found.
Wow.
they got
Oh, he
evidence.
tweeted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in writing.
So you just committing terrorist threats
There you go.
Yeah.
with your fingers. Oh, tweet, you stupid.
And Pimpin',
Man, damn.
And
Yeah, what's up,
unemployed.
and then also Pimpin', we just really want you to give some love to Miami, man. They won their first game.
Yeah,
they
they
beat the
did.
Jets, man, 26-18.
Yeah, I ain't got to give no love to Miami for that.
Throw them a little bit,
Just
man. A little bit, man.
You're a
Encouragement.
football team. You supposed to win a game. What is we clapping for? In one game. You understand?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Would you clap for me if I only had one coat? No, hell no. You clap for me because I keep coming in here with that coats on. Why I'm going to clap for you with one win? Ain't nobody clapping for me for one coat.
No.
I got to change up every week.
But yeah,
Keep
man.
it fly right here, man.
Yeah, you got it, Pimp. You right. Yeah,
All
we ain't
right.
clapping
Hey,
for
that lady said 10 seconds. We got to get out of here.
All right, yeah.
She don't really care for pimping, so.
Coming up, more music, more fun on the Steve Harvey Morning Show at 20 minutes
Hey,
after
Crystal,
the hour.
what's up, girl?
Right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so tell me something good. Here's some Steve Harvey Morning Show good news, all right? The Pardon and Parole Board in Oklahoma released 450 prison inmates yesterday. This is the largest single-day commutation in U.S. history. All of the inmates served time for nonviolent crimes that would no longer be considered felonies if they were charged today. Governor Kevin Stitt said more than 450 Oklahomans are getting a second chance today. The board considered releasing as many as 814 inmates. Another 65 are expected to have their sentences commuted soon. The massive release will also save the state of Oklahoma about $12 million. I love that. 75% of the inmates being released are male. Most of the inmates have served at least 3 years in prison. Wow, that is good news.
You know,
Oklahoma.
I've been hearing about these things, and what somebody had a funny tweet that people in prison that have been in prison for selling marijuana, using marijuana, things like that, got to be sitting there shaking their head because now it's legal, and the government and the state is selling weed now, and they're making a profit off of what they have to do prison time for. So I think it's a great move. I wish a lot of states would follow that. That would be a great move.
Yeah.
It really would.
Kudos to Oklahoma.
So shout out
you're
to
right.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
All right, more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show and some trending news coming up at 33 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so today is Election Day. Please go vote in your local elections in your community. We cannot stress that enough. There are gubernatorial,
today, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, gubernatorial races going on in Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana. In addition, there are local elections all over the country, and voters will vote locally on numerous citizen initiatives, municipal, mayoral races in Houston, San Francisco, and Philly, just to name a few. Plus, make sure you vote in your community for locally, for city council and for school board members, various ballot and bond measures and referendums, plus state legislative elections going on in Virginia, Maryland, Mississippi, Louisiana, and New Jersey. And there will be a few special federal elections to replace members who have resigned. Bottom line, Steve, you got to tell them to get out and vote, please.
All of y'all that went down there and got in them Chick-fil-A and Popeyes line need to have y'all ass in line voting today.
Just put a poll outside.
That's what y'all need to be doing. Today.
Yeah, just put a polling out there.
Polling.
Just the
voting poll.
He's saying put a booth at the chicken house, dog. That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think
thought
not a stripper pole.
Stripper pole?
I'm sorry. I don't have elevated thinking at times. My apologies, Junior. All I saw was a pole outside the chicken place. I was going.
That will make you pull over, though. That will make you
Get
pull
a
over.
sandwich and a lap dance.
Something else.
But back to the importance of voting, Steve.
Please get out and vote. Yeah.
Well, I mean, really, Tommy said it best, to be honest with you.
Yes.
You know, at one point in time, we've got to figure this thing out. You're not happy with the government. Now, we can't vote on foreign policy. We can't vote when they say build a wall or not build a wall. We can't vote when they ban 7 Muslim countries from traveling. We have no say-so with trade embargo with China or anything else. We can't get on the phone call when you're discussing the Bidens with Ukraine. We can't do any of that. But what you can do is determine who's up there making those phone calls, making those trade decisions, and deciding who can travel in and out of this country. You have a say-so in that by who you put into office. So the importance of voting is never going to diminish. That's why our forefathers died for us to have the right to vote.
Amen.
They forefathers came up, none of our forefathers came up with that Constitution that don't include us many times. But we have the right to vote, and we should exercise that right at every opportunity to produce change.
Coming up, our last break of the day and some closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey right after this at 49 minutes after.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we go. It's been a good day, a good Tuesday. Right, guys?
Selection day.
What a day.
Yeah.
It's
Election day.
Selection
That's most
day.
important.
Yeah.
Election day. Get out and vote.
Hey, can I ask y'all something?
Yeah, you wanted to ask Steve something?
Since Thanksgiving coming up. Cured ham. What did it used to be sick from?
Cannot.
He said, we're going to get a ham, and, we're going to get a cured ham. But why do I want a ham that used to be sick? Can you explain to me what cured ham, what did it used to have? Because I don't want to eat something that if it had the flu or what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what cured ham used to have,
How is he going to be in the mood for closing remarks after this stupid blank question?
Thank you, Shirley.
But ain't it just cured or something? So it had something at one point in time.
Boy.
So why would I want to eat that?
Man, you think you smart.
This show was dedicated to smart people. Why is he talking? Why?
But this is coming from the dude who fall back. Remember?
Yeah.
He didn't come to work yesterday because he thought we were supposed to fall back.
Yeah, tell people.
But why would you go in if you're supposed to fall back? Don't be silly.
I'm silly.
Oh, man.
With your silly behind.
I'm silly.
Yeah.
Because I came to work. Well, I be.
Now, I'm asking y'all about a cured ham. If it's cured, it means it's sick or something, or had something at one time. Okay? I don't want no.
Steve, you hired him. That's all I gotta say.
What I have to do is focus on closing remarks. I don't have time.
How?
Yeah.
How can you do
You're not going to close
music,
just ham for me?
No, I will. I will at the beginning of closing remarks.
Yeah. Wow.
Let him focus, Tommy. He gonna tune you out right
now. Here we go. Let me just start my closing remarks by saying sometimes on your way to the top, you're going to meet a lot of people that try to pull you down. When you meet them, even if they're relatives, just keep moving. Stay on the wall. Don't let them pull you down. Stay on the wall. You don't have to deal with their family members. You didn't choose them. You were born with them. I was born with him. Now, let me get to some closing remarks to try to help somebody. Hey, y'all, listen. One of the situations that you're going to run into on your way to success is called setbacks. Life is filled with setbacks. You're going to run into them constantly. I've said this 100 times on the show that the road to success is always under construction. So you have to understand that. It is a part of becoming successful. The reason you have setbacks and trials and tribulations on your way to fulfilling your dreams is because you need to gain experience at certain situations. So when they crop up again further down the road as you get closer to where you're trying to go, you will have the skill set, the wisdom, and the understanding to deal with it. You are simply, when a setback comes in front of you, you are being tested. It's like in school. The teacher can stand up in the front and tell you something all she wants, but to make sure you got it, she has a test. Sometimes the tests are sudden. They're called pop quizzes. You don't have time to get ready for them, but they just pop up. Or sometimes she'd have an oral exam and just have everybody stand and call out an answer. Trouble doesn't have an alert. They don't sound an alarm. Trouble just shows up unannounced. Trouble don't make announcements. Trouble don't make appointments in your life. Trouble just shows up. It's like out of nowhere. But what you get as you pass these tests in life is you become more experienced. So there will come a time in your life through experience where you'll say, okay, I've seen that before. Okay, that looks like it could be trouble over there, because those are the symptoms I saw before that I fell into, and boom, you can get past that one. Or boom, you can sidestep it. Or boom, you can face it head on and know exactly how to deal with it because you've seen it again. Every time you have a setback, it is in preparation for things to come. Stop viewing setbacks as final points to end something. Don't look at a setback as, oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. Stop looking at setbacks as, oh, man, what is God trying to tell me? No, it's not that way at all oftentimes. You are being tested and prepared for the next level you're about to get to. You have got to become more seasoned, more experienced as you climb the ladder and you get to the next level. So stop looking at your setbacks, which are going to happen, as signs that it ain't meant to be or it's too hard. Yes, it's hard. Yeah, it is hard. But man, like I've said so many times, ain't not being successful hard too? Man, so if you're going to face hardship and one can lead to success, and you could face hardships and the other one can lead to not having the life of your dreams and being unsuccessful, which one of them roads you going to take? I'll take the hardships with a means to my ending instead of just hardship and sitting there accepting life as it goes. Every time you have a setback, it's to prepare you for the next level. So get on with it, deal with it, pray about it, keep God in your life, and he'll get you through it, just like he always has in your past. Those are my closing remarks today.
Oh, amen. Amen. Drop the mic, baby.
Hello,
hey,
the ham.
Have yourself a good weekend, Tommy. Don't worry about the ham.
Just eat it.
Turkey. It's Thanksgiving. Eat turkey, boy. Hey, y'all have a great weekend. God loves you. Bye.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit steveharveyfm.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.